All right, hey chess friends. We're gonna do something a little bit different today. We're gonna review some games because I've played the most chess like this last week. I played more chess this week than I probably have in the last month or two. I've been playing so many games, even if I haven't posted. I had a couple days gap in my posts. I've still been playing chess every single day, and it's been really brutal. So I want to share just how brutal it's been and look at two games today that I played that are complete polar opposites. So devastating, so amazing. Let's get into it. Okay, the first game is from Lichess. And as you can see, we have the white pieces. So we're playing a little Jabava, because that's usually what we do. So we're doing d4, d5, knight c3, and they play e6 here. From here, we do bishop over to f4, c6. So they're closing things up. This is just a French-ish setup against, our Jabava. So it stops us from jumping our knight in. I play knight to f3, again, just kind of getting ready, getting all of my pieces involved, Now they play h6, which is, kind of a waste a little bit. At least in my opinion. Play e3 here, knight to f6, and now we play bishop to d3. And we've achieved our, ideal Jabava London setup. So, this is good times, they let us have everything that we wanted. So far things are going well. We are about 0.4, 0.5 ahead right now. We go ahead and castle. And if you notice, like at this point in the game, I really thought that Black was kind of scrunched up. They had all their pieces scrunched in here, and so I was kind of looking at that at this point, and I decided to just go ahead and jump my knight into e5, which isn't really the best move here. I went down from a 1 point advantage at this exact location here, uh, down to a 0.1. Stockfish really wants us to play e4 in this position and just break open the center. I suppose you could also jam it down Black's throat and play e5 as well. I don't really like locking things up though. I mean, I have an easier time once we tear things down, so at any rate, I didn't find that. I put my knight in the center of the board. I still figured it couldn't be a horrible move, and then afterwards I went and played e4. So I just kind of out of order, Takes, takes, takes. I was kind of aware here. It gets really dangerous right here because if something happened, they took here, their queen could have access to this pawn and grab that pawn for free. But then you kind of got to watch out because technically there's a check there and a discovered attack on the queen. So both sides have to play a little bit cautiously in this situation. So yeah, that's what happened so far. Now we're back to being a point in the lead. Or at least, that's what the engine says we're 1.3, 1.4. So it's just really interesting how little things kind of change everything up. So since this is no longer a tactic anymore, if queen takes and then bishop gives check, I decided I needed to defend that pawn. So, I took a moment and just defended it, which I felt really good about. I'm taking some extra time. I'm just making sure everything's locked down, Good stuff. What is that? Can we talk about it? I don't know, but it's just I was like, is this some big brain move that I don't understand? Whatever. I just took it. So now I'm up 3.1 at the moment. Get a rook onto the open file. King kind of shuffles back, and now, I mean, at this point we're up in exchange, right? So it should be pretty easy. I just go in to start trying to make some trades. I moved my queen over here, which I think got them thinking that I was going for an attack on the queen side here, but the actual reason was because of this pin here on the king, and I was aiming at the pawn. Felt pretty proud about that too. So, at this point, I'm I'm up 3 points, you know? But engine evaluation is saying 5.2. So really good. Take another pawn, force a trade. I mean, just look at how good this is for white. All right. So I'm just going to trade now. And now we start, stacking everything up on the e-file. Okay. They play a thing. And now I have the brilliant idea to trade off everything. And yeah, I do this. And so this is like emotionally really damaging for me. Um like yeah, I was actually going to record this game too at the time, but this blunder from me disturbed me so much that I just walked away from my computer. Um yeah, this is, I mean, there's nothing after this, because in this, it's like, oh, they have to trade with the queen. No, they don't. They just take and then step out of the way, and suddenly in this position everything changes, even though, like, yeah, white still has two rooks, but there's no chance. There's absolutely no chance here. The queen can come in, start picking off pawns. This rook really can't do anything, because I mean, you'd have to make sure you don't get back rank mated, and even so, yeah, queen's just going to start picking off these pawns one by one and promoting. You just can't stop them. So this was really this was really really bad. Um, yeah. So anyway, let's see the second game I played today, okay? Because it's not all bad. Hopefully, I mean, you don't know. The next game, actually, I switched over to chess.com, and I played the highest rated opponent I've ever played over there. I played a 1484. So yeah, almost a 1500. So let's quickly take a look at this, okay? Now, this is a weird game. Not gonna lie, this one's pretty wild. All right, so same thing. We have the white pieces, and we are playing queen pawn, trying to get a Jabava. They try to get into a Caro-Kann setup, with, pawn on c6. I don't know if this is still considered a Caro-Kann in this exact situation or not, but I don't think it is, because I think it's only a Caro-Kann. If it could transpose still, but anyway, yeah. So they get into this sort of setup. Bishop out, and whenever this happens, I mean, it just signals that we can get an amazing pawn storm happening. Now they played f6, which, is very very weakening. You don't want to push that pawn. So I don't know what was going on there. Computers calling this an inaccuracy, and then of course you have that there. I mean, this is just really really scary for black. I mean, I don't really know what they're doing here. Obviously, they're moving this because they think they're going to attack the bishop. So I took here. I took on b8, but yeah, engine wants me to play back instead. So I don't know. I just thought it was better. Like, otherwise it was kind of a tempoing move, and I just figured I'd just get rid of it. So at this point, I am about one point up. At least that's what Stockfish is saying, and I play the move g4. Bishop back. I move my bishop forward to d3. These are like, at least this is kind of a typical Jabava sort of setup here. Even if the sort of pawns over here are a little bit weird. Alright, so yeah, they're just pushing more pawns. I decide to get more things developed. Yeah, bishop to d6 there. And I kind of thought for a little bit here on what the right move was, because I really wanted to get this queen out of the way and castle queenside, but I really kind of wanted to put it here on d3. The thing I didn't want to have happen is move it to d2 out of the way, and then they take, and then I move it to, it just seems like that's a waste, waste of time on my part. So I was trying to see what else to do here in this situation. I really thought about playing e4, but I thought maybe then it would, it'd open up this line. Do I really want that yet? So I decided, I was also looking at the placement of this bishop, and I was looking at, different things that might be able to happen here. So I decided I was just going to play f4, which apparently is an inaccuracy. They get their knight developed, and I push it forward just to, like, create some problems. But unfortunately, there's another situation where this is a mistake because it's a counting problem here. I can't move into that square. If you look, though, I did it in like 20 seconds, so I'm not taking the time. The blitz I've been playing lately is like really putting me in a bad mindset where I'm moving too quickly. Same thing happened in the last game. I was not calculating properly, although even if it seems like such a it's such a bad move that's just so easy and plain to see, which is why it was so emotionally destructive to me in that last game. But anyway, moving on, we're looking at this game here. They take, so it's E captures on F5. I retake, G captures on F5. Of course, at this point, they get their knight in there, and yeah, Stockfish says that I am 2.5 points behind, so that's pretty bad. In the end, I figure I have to castle. Not much decision here. They castle, I castle. And then they play the move knight captures on e3. And this is like a 1500 player. And the only thing I can think of that seems obvious to me is that I take and they're able to pin my queen to my king, but I have this knight here, and I think they forgot about that. So I take, they go ahead and they, threaten my queen. And I just decided that I wanted to sidestep. I decided I wanted to keep an eye on things, so I didn't want to go too far with my queen. So I just stepped over by one. It makes, like, I have eyes on this in case their queen moves off the defense. I'm still kind of holding everything together here. And then they play rook to e3. And I gotta say, when it comes to someone who is almost 150 points higher than me, rating higher than me, doing something like this, I kind of take a moment. So I did take a good moment here because this was just, I thought there has to be something here. Why would they do that? So I was thinking at first of reacting to it and moving a queen out of the way, but so yeah, I took a good amount of time, and I ended up taking. So at this point, we're completely winning against a 1484, which is just crazy. But of course, in that last game, I was completely winning as well over in Lichess, so I was kind of a little bit doubting my own abilities. Yeah, chess, who knew there's psychology involved with chess? How weird. All right, so they move their queen over, and it looks like they're going to do some sort of battery on that pawn. Honestly, I thought, like, well, do I even care? Like, because let's say they take here, I can just play queen over to h3, and then this bishop, if it was there, is completely pinned. It's got to, like, stay in place so that I'm not threatening any checkmates. So I was like, okay, I don't care. We're just going to start with taking that bishop off the board. And now if they do want to take the pawn, go for it. So I just played a waiting move. I figured I'd encourage them to maybe take, so I will just move my other rook to a soon-to-be open file. Can't be wrong, And also, there's still no pin here on my queen because of this. So I did have to remember that the moment I moved that off there, it's GG. So there were definitely some traps, So they just start pushing over here, and yeah, that's a little concerning. So I play h4, which also is the best move. Idea, of course, is that I'm going to get this file open so that my rook and my queen can come in and hopefully win, win the game. So they keep pushing. I have to move my knight, so I move it back. I think in this situation, I think the engine might even Stockfish might even want me to like sack it or move it off over here because I think I have such a substantial threat right now that doesn't really matter. They bring their queen in, but of course, the moment they did that, I just saw, okay, well, I can move in. I can give check. They resigned here because, of course, I can give check. They have to move somewhere. If they move off this way, I take the bishop with check and also win the rook. If they move off this way, then h captures g5 with a discovered attack on the king, and they still have to move. They have to move here, and then it's still going to be checkmate very soon. So yeah, there wasn't much they could do there. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed seeing those two games. Yeah, I've been really struggling. I'm trying to hit 1500 chess.com rapid by the end of the year. And of course, I'm trying to get as highly rated as I can on Lichess. I've been concentrating a lot on Lichess for my YouTube videos, and it's just been brutal. I'm gonna be honest. I think, but I want to keep going. I think that the easiest thing to do is get discouraged and say maybe you've peaked and just quit. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong is they get discouraged and they stop. But a lot of times, at least from what I've heard from psychologists, is that um, you always struggle before a breakthrough, and so it's really important just to stick with it and keep going. So, I mean, I don't know if there's any truth in that or not, but I feel like there could be because every time in the past that I've struggled at a different rating range, I've really struggled and it's really been a grind, and I've questioned myself, and then I end up breaking through. So I just have to do the same thing this time. Um, it's just not always easy. So, yeah, thanks for watching the video. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this type of format or not, or want me to go back to the format of playing live games, or some sort of mix of both. Let me know. And make sure to like and subscribe to help me grow my channel. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.